So this is going to be a quick look at this torque driver. It's manufactured by a company called, I believe it's pronounced GOYOJO, but it's actually spelled Goyojo. Before I get too far in this, though, I've got to provide a little bit of a disclaimer in that the GOYOJO brand actually sent me this product as a free sample to review and then do a video on. So I do need to sort of qualify that. And then the other thing I'll say, and this is just to sort of help you a little bit about me and my experience level, is I've been working in the firearms industry either in a full or part-time type of position for the better part of 20 plus years, actually a little more than that now. So I'm not an expert in this type of stuff, but I do have quite a bit of experience using a torque driver. So now that I've covered that, let's kind of get back to reviewing the product. So real quick, we're going to kind of go over this so you have an idea of what this thing does and the parts. So this is the driver portion itself. This is built on a 1/4 inch action, and it will take 1/4 inch bits. This product comes with 10 bits as part of the package, and the bits are kind of your more popular driver bits, and you've got everything from flatheads to Phillips to a couple of Torques, and then to just a traditional hex bit. And these are typically like the most popular bit styles is usually what you see in a package like this. So getting back to the driver itself, so the bit actually fits in here and it's magnetic, and I'll sort of show you, just slides right in and it's magnetic, doesn't come out. That's where the bit goes. And then the torque setting itself, you can see, and I'm hoping you can see that decently on video. It has a little kind of setting gauge right here, and this particular unit will adjust from 10 inch-pounds all the way up to 60 inch-pounds. And if you're not familiar with an inch-pound, it's just the measuring kind of format that is typically used when you're screwing something down with force. It's just a measurement is what it really is. So this unit right here will adjust this little, you can see, I may not have covered it very well, you can actually see the little adjustment, and the way you adjust it is you pull up on the orange handle here and you turn it, and right brings it up, and then left brings it back down, and then when you get finished, you let it down and it's locked in position. And so if you needed to torque something down to 10 foot-pounds, so you would come all the way down like so till it bottoms out at 10, which is what it's on right now. And then you would do your torque. And basically what happens is if it's on 10 foot-pounds, when you're trying to turn something, and I'm going to do a demonstration in just a second, when you're trying to torque something down, when you hit the 10 I said foot-pounds, I'm sorry, it's inch-pounds. When you hit the 10 inch-pounds mark, the driver disengages, and I'll do a kind of a demonstration to sort of show you kind of how that works. One rotation of the handle here will move this 10 inch-pounds up. So one full rotation moves it 1 inch-pound. And so just to sort of demonstrate, I'm going to bring something on camera that I've already kind of set up so you can see it and see kind of how it works. So this is a rifle scope, and it has BKL rings on it. And just to show you kind of how it works, because I predominantly use this device when I'm mounting scopes, and it's really imperative when you're mounting scopes to make sure you don't over torque, because if you over torque too much, the tube can collapse, and then you don't want to under torque it when it's mounting on the firearm because you want it to stay in place so the zero maintains. but just to give you kind of an idea. So I already know from experience that this particular setting is 15 inch-pounds. So what we'll do is we will set this at 15, which is right there. And then basically you're going to put it in and begin turning. And when it tightens down and it begins, when you reach the torque max, it pops. You just heard it pop. And I'm going to do it over here so you can see it again. We're going to torque it all the way down. And when you hit the 10-pound mark, or sorry, this is 15, I apologize. When you hit the 15-pound mark, it pops. And that tells you you've hit that mark and you don't want to torque anymore. And the device actually won't torque anymore because when it pops, it loses all the drive. So just to give you kind of a quick and dirty look, that's how one of these works. So I mentioned earlier this unit was sent to me as a sample, and I mentioned that I've had this unit about 2 weeks now, and I've used it to mount several different scopes. I actually took it in. I work part-time at a firearms store, and I took it in to sort of put it through its paces. And I had the chance to mount several scopes with it, test it. You just sort of make sure that it performed like I expected it to perform. And it did extremely well. I didn't have any issues. I didn't run into any, problems with the way it functions. It went off every time like it was supposed to. I compared it to another brand of torque driver that we have at work and got the same results. So it's accurate. It's advertised as being accurate within plus or minus 2 inch-pounds. Honestly, I think it might be a little more accurate than that because the other unit that I tested it against is actually a digital model. So this has got a more traditional display. The digital models, comes up as you get a little bit more precise measurement, and this was basically right on the money every time. So, so my thoughts on it so far, and like I said, I've only had it for about 2 weeks now, but I've mounted at least 5 or 6 different optics and rings in 5 or 6 weeks using it, and each optic was, each set of rings was a different brand. So each brand of scope ring, a lot of times they have their own kind of recommended torque settings. So I got to adjust it up and down and try it in a couple of different configurations, and it worked fine. The other thing to mention is, and this is definitely worth mentioning, is if you have this particular, you end up grabbing this and you needed it, but the bits that it comes with, there's not a bit that will work with the with whatever you are trying to, if it doesn't match up exactly in terms of size or the setting. Like this right here is a T15. It's a Torx 15, and if you need a Torx 20, which is not in here, if you use, as long as it's a 1/4 inch bit, which is what this is, then it'll fit in this unit and it'll work. So something else to mention. But hopefully, if you were looking at this or you were on the fence about it, I'm hoping something I said may have answered a question, or now you've got a better idea kind of how the unit works.